I need nowhere to go. But lately you're the one who's lost control. Oh, darling, turn and cry, we had a time. I was always yours when you were mine.
We don't take no L.
Horny of the most. Ooh. Oh. Horny of the most. Horny of the most. Horny of the most. Ooh. You were horny, babe. I was horny too. We was horny together.
We don't take no L.
So we're horny of the most. Ooh. Had a time. Horny of the most.
We don't take no L.
First things first, got some tour dates for you. September 21st, I'm in Long Island, New York. September 27th, I'm in New Brunswick, New Jersey. October 1st, I'm in Washington, D.C. Then October 10th, going across the pond, London, England. Leicester Square Theatre, October 10th. Then I will be in Belfast, Ireland, October 15th. Then I'm going out to California, November 15th, 16th, and 19th. 15th, I will be at the Bria Improv. 16th, I will be at Oxnard Levity live. And then November 19th, I will be in San Jose at the Improv. All tickets are available with the link in bio. Look right here. Look right here. Welcome back to the LoPriore podcast. I'm your host, Danny LoPriore, and today I'm joined by my lovely, special, beautiful, striking, hot, sexy.
Ew.
Sorry. My wife's here, Selena. Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up?
Not too much.
You good?
Yeah.
It was kind of a whole spectacle getting this thing together. It's kind of a mess. It was kind of a mess. Miscommunication, I would say it was. And then that's good because people have a lot of questions for us today, and then maybe miscommunication would be something that we could talk about. But Selena and I were setting up the shot, and we were messing with natural light and not natural light, and we were trying to figure out how the best way to shoot this was, and this is what we came up with. But it's
A lot goes into it.
It does. It does.
It's not
it
my
does.
thing.
It does. Welcome back.
Thank you.
It's your second time around. How have you been?
I've been good.
You've been good?
Mm-hmm.
How's work?
Work's good.
Okay. Family's good?
Family's good.
Family's good. All right. So let's get into it, right? Newlywed special. We've been married for how long now? 3 months?
Almost 4?
Almost 4 months. Really?
Oh, no.
No.
Barely 3.
Barely 3. Come on. It's all right.
My bad.
Yeah, we've been married a while. But, yeah, so we've been married for 3 months. We wanted to do an episode where we kind of talked about everything and anything that went on during our wedding week and build up to our wedding. I do have to go on record and say that Selena was the MVP of our wedding. She did most of the planning, if not all of it. So, I'm excited to ask you a couple questions about that as well. Yeah. How long did you start planning the wedding? How long did it take you to plan the wedding?
I feel like it was a full year of active planning, right?
When did we get engaged? October or something?
October.
Around your birthday.
Around my birthday. But then my older sister was having a vow renewal at the end of the year, and at the beginning of the next year, my younger sister was having a big wedding. So
Yes.
we didn't even think about it or touch anything until all of that was done.
Okay.
right?
You said we. Thank you. Appreciate that. But it was more you. So, all right. So, like a full year. What was the first thing that you planned?
Well, first we decided, I forgot how much we spoke about this in the last episode, but first we spoke about where we were going to do it, and my sister's wedding and vow renewal had something to do with us deciding to do something different and more so like an experience for people
Yeah.
and a smaller amount of people.
And then also,
So that was the first thought.
I also didn't want to get married in New York because I felt like getting married in New York is you get married on a rooftop, it costs $30,000, and then you go downstairs and there's garbage and homeless people all over the streets.
That doesn't bother me. I
That
don't
bothers
relate
the
to
shit
that.
out of me.
I
That
would have
bothers
loved
me.
to get married in New York if we were loaded. Like, yeah, that sounds great.
That's true. We're not.
But yeah, that was one of the other things too. Is like I looked at a couple of venues in New York, and the idea of paying money for an event fee and not getting anything for it just did not sit right with me. So then came the idea of getting married elsewhere, and then we agreed on this idea to have it be somewhere meaningful. So Mallorca, where my family's from, became the plan. So then it was finding a venue, and I knew that we didn't want to do like a traditional wedding venue, so we started looking at Airbnbs. That we did together.
That we did together. It was between two Airbnbs. One was significantly cheaper, and then one was significantly more expensive. And
still
Selena
very
settled on,
cheap for a wedding venue.
Yeah. I mean,
But
it was still very cheap
they
for
were-
a wedding venue.
If you recall, I reached out to both places. The other place never got back to me.
I do remember that. They were rude.
And the other...
They were rude.
No, they weren't rude. He was just like... Well, through the process and planning a destination wedding, you find that people don't operate the way that we do, as they shouldn't. They're like, hey, I'm on holiday. Don't get back to me for 4 months. And I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Inconvenient for me, but good for you.
See, as someone who considers themselves lazy, I really got a new respect for European people about
doing it
how lazy they were. About, oh, yeah, you want to plan a wedding? Like, yeah, just text us in like 3 months. Yeah. And then really, realistically, like we were doing stuff counting down with our venue and shit. Almost like week of, like stuff that still had to get done.
Yeah, part of that was on us, but also, yeah, they just operate differently there. It was like you couldn't talk to anybody for the entire summer. That's the first thing.
Yeah, they would never
Then you
email
can't
us
talk
back.
to anybody during any major holidays, so it became a little bit difficult.
I would stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning trying to talk to somebody through WhatsApp, and they would never get back to me.
Yeah,
It was very difficult.
But
I'm
the
so happy
wedding
that I don't
market-
even have that app anymore.
The whole market here is just gross. And another thing I want to say to people who are planning a wedding is our idea of what a wedding is supposed to look like, what you think of a typical wedding, that's a luxury event. All of the things you think a wedding needs, that's a crazy luxury decision. Like, a wedding doesn't need all of those things.
No.
Which is another reason why we planned our wedding the way that we did. And I do want to say, I don't personally maybe feel comfortable talking about finances, but I think, and just some of your followers like commented things that I thought were interesting. Like, it looks like this really expensive and luxurious wedding. And in many ways it was, because all weddings are. Weddings are crazy. But ultimately...
No, we're good. I'm just checking something. You're good. I'm listening.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry. Podcast 101, just keep talking always. Don't ever worry about what's going on. But yeah, you're good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
But
We'll cut it. We'll
ultimately,
fix it in
it
post.
wasn't this crazy expensive thing, you know?
It's not that it wasn't
Compared to like what you might think.
Right.
Let me say
I
that.
don't want people to think like, oh, I got $3,000. I'm gonna go have the same wedding as them. It's just not gonna happen. But there were multiple times during the planning of the wedding that I started to realize that we weren't on the same page, just in terms of how close the wedding actually was.
What do you mean?
So, like, in
You and I?
Yeah, because in September I was like, oh, we still have like a month, but a month out to like plan a bunch of stuff.
Wedding was in May.
What did I just say?
September.
Oh, because we got engaged in October. I'm sorry. Before our wedding, the month before our wedding,
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, like we're pretty much good, and like we still had a ton of shit we had to do.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was just never ending. I should say I, throughout the process, thought I wasn't going to need a wedding planner, which was hilarious. I did finally hire 3 months out. They didn't so much plan because most of the planning had been done. They were more so coordinators that started a little bit early.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank God for them.
She almost did this whole thing by herself, which would have been admirable, but we couldn't have done it without them. Now that I think we realized
If it was here, I could have done it for sure.
You think so? You think you could have done it by yourself here?
Yeah, but it's worth the money.
It's worth the money. Yeah, so that's another thing. Get a wedding planner. It's worth it. It's almost like having an agent. Like, as much as you don't want to give them that 10%, they're kind of worth that 10%.
There's things you don't even think about, and then I would find there's things I just didn't care to think about. There's a million questions that they ask you. What do you want to do about this? And I cared a lot about the vision and the vibe of the event, but as far as some of the smaller details, like I just didn't care.
Well,
like you didn't even come up with a song to walk out to. Like neither of us could even pretend to care about that.
Well, I just thought that it was going to be classical, and you like classical music, as do I. So I thought she was just going to pick something classical and like let it go and let it rock. Yeah, so I trusted you.
And I
with
came
that.
out to Runaway.
Yes, and you came out to Runaway by Kanye West, and that kind of made me cry because it's one of my favorite Kanye songs. But I want to go back to something you said.
And you didn't know.
I did not know. I was very surprised.
Well, it was a classical version, but yeah.
Yes.
It was canon in D faded into Runaway. I don't know if you've heard it since then.
I've listened to it a couple times. I have
DJ
all of
John Lou hooked it up.
I have all of his and our playlist on my computer still.
Yeah.
We
should talk about that too because that was a rarity.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that too. But the thing I wanted to get back to.
Is this whole thing going to be about the wedding?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a newlywed special.
Okay.
We got married legally in the courthouse in New York City.
Yeah, this whole thing. I mean, I kept waiting for the wedding planning to get stressful. I was totally fine until it came to navigating getting married through the church. So the only way we would be able to get married in Spain is through me being Catholic, through the Catholic Church.
Yeah, I'm not Catholic.
So you only need one.
You only need one,
which
apparently.
Which is kind of shocking. But that's the only way you can do it. You have to get married legally in the States regardless. But that whole thing fell apart 1 week before the wedding.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But I wanted to touch on what you said, though, about there's two different types of weddings, right? If we just got married in the courthouse and came back and like had like a super party and like rented a room at the plaza, right? And like did a thing, like I think that would have been a perfectly awesome wedding.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So like if you're out there and you're thinking, oh, I gotta like go do all this stuff. First of all, there's something very chic about getting married in New York City courthouse. I thought it was very cute. There was a couple that knew who we were, but they didn't bother us. But they DM'd us later saying they were in front of us in line, getting ready to get married. So, like, it was cool. You get to see all these other, like, you know, but it's the family aspect that we didn't really have that was there. I would have been perfectly fine doing that if that's what you wanted to do.
At the courthouse?
All the way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's romantic.
I think it's romantic. You know what I mean? I think we popped off some good pics. Some Asian guy hustled us, though. You remember that? The guy that was taking pictures, and he was just like, hey, guys, like, oh, let me take a couple pictures. And then he was just like, oh, here, look at these pictures. Look at these pictures. And they were like $20 a piece.
You scammed him back, though.
I did scam him back because I'm good at that. I'm good at, like, oh, yeah. I'm like, oh, well, oh, no, I didn't want this one. He airdropped it to me. He airdropped me a photo. And I just kept it. I told him I was going to delete it, but I never deleted it.
Oh, no, that's not the one I wanted. I actually wanted that one.
Yeah, I'm smart.
Did he tell you to delete it?
Yeah, he told me to delete it. If he scams me, I'm going to scam the shit out of him, dude. We almost had to hire a Peruvian witness. Do you remember that? Oh. Because my brother and Daniel, my cousin Daniel, they were late to our wedding, and the courthouse made it seem like, oh, they have to be here at this time or you're never getting married. That's what they kind of made it seem like. And I was like, listen, our witness isn't here. And there was a guy.
Also, we were leaving that day. So
Yeah.
tensions were high.
We were leaving for Spain that day. Like, what, 9 hours later we left? Something
Not
like that.
even.
So we're doing that, and I'm waiting for them. And as we're walking in, this guy was almost like a ticket scalper. Like you see at Yankee Stadium, be like, tickets. He was just like, witness. You need a witness? You want pictures? You want flowers? You want a witness? I was like, God damn, dude. And then we almost hired a Peruvian man. I almost wish we hired the Peruvian man.
What? How do you know he was Peruvian?
I'm just taking a guess.
Okay.
I think he was Peruvian. I could hear his dialect.
Oh, his dialect?
Yeah, his dialect was Peruvian-ish.
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, very Peruvian-ish. But Michael and Daniel made it there. Then that whole day was kind of a shit fuck because we had to do so much in one day.
I don't remember that.
I had a lot of packing still to do.
Well,
It takes you way longer to pack than me. You're a last minute packer and a last minute unpacker. I just don't unpack at all.
for sure, yeah.
I just leave it in my suitcase for days and days.
Yeah, I'm not the best packer.
But yeah, so I think that was one of the questions that we had was somebody was asking like, hey, like, I don't really have a lot of money. I don't know how to like get married. I really want to do this. Just do it whatever you can afford. What's in your budget. Don't overextend yourself to get married.
Yeah.
I don't think people should.
Good food, open bar, good music.
That's it.
That's it.
We didn't have a DJ either. We had a DJ,
Controversial.
but we didn't have a DJ. So
Yeah.
what we did was we gave a bunch of songs that we wanted to hear on our wedding day to a DJ.
Our friend.
Yeah, our friend. But, what's his ad on Instagram? Do you know? We're going to look up his ad because I want to give him a plug. Because he mixed us. How many mixes did he give us? 4?
Yes.
We had 4. We had, what was it, a dinner mixtape?
Oh my God, I don't know what it is.
A party
It's not his
mixtape?
name.
I'll add it.
Okay.
We had a dinner mixtape, a party mixtape, a welcome party mixtape.
Pre-party. So yeah, the music was so important to us, and I feel like we're on the same page when it comes to what music we like, what music we need to hear, and that being way too big of a risk to go wrong. Like so many other things can go wrong, but the music can't go wrong. And because it was difficult to find vendors in another country, so we did something unorthodox and had pre-made sets, and I think it was the best music I've ever heard at a wedding.
I think so. I 100% believe
Everybody kept coming up to us and being like, I would have never guessed that there wasn't a DJ here. It was still somehow like he could read the room. It was crazy.
It was awesome.
It was so good. And the cute part is we'll have the playlists forever.
Yeah, I throw them
So
on
like
sometimes.
a bunch of my friends are already talking about next year we have to get together and just let the playlist ride.
Well, that's what sucked is that the only thing that sucked about it is that we did have a noise curfew.
No, we had
No,
I don't even want to say it was a scheduling issue. It was like set up this way. I just didn't think it through really. And this is why you need a planner. Like I didn't do the math of like, okay, if dinner goes to this time and then the music starts here. Basically the issue was we didn't even get to the end of the playlist and the music got crazy. And our guests didn't get to hear that. Yeah, we had to get out of the venue at midnight, which was less than ideal. But
the thing
it was a logistical nightmare.
So realistically, what you guys need to understand is like we rented an entire compound pretty much. So like you have this compound, but then there were also like other properties on the compound. So if you went past a certain time, you would get in trouble. Like what would they have done? Find us, I guess. They would have fined us.
Compound is like in the middle of nowhere. Nobody can hear you from miles away except for the one other guests that were staying on the property technically.
Right.
And had we known that existed, we would have rented it or had some of our guests rent it. So that was a big
That's the one thing I do regret. If we could go back, I would have made sure that we rented that other property.
Yeah.
and just been like, we're gonna stay here till 3
But then
o'clock
it
in the morning.
still would have been kind of a nightmare with transportation. There's no words to describe what it took to drive up to this house and like what
Yeah.
that whole process
All
was
right, so
like.
this is what I want everyone at home to do. Imagine being blindfolded, and you've never ridden a unicycle before. That's what going up and down this path was like. It was, if you went a little bit to the right, not only was your car ruined, you were dead. There were multiple places that if you went off the road, you were a dead person.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Issue.
Thank you. But yeah, so ideally, I think 3 or 4 people got into a car accident.
Some of the buses crashed
Yeah, some of the buses crashed
on the way out, which we found out after our honeymoon.
Yeah, so some people got in accidents. Nobody got hurt, but there were accidents for sure coming to our wedding.
A couple of the drivers decided after they dropped the guests off that they were not going to come back up to pick them up.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm not doing that again. They need to find another ride. You can't find a cab to come. So, like, and people ask me this question too. Planning a destination wedding is difficult, but I also chose a very remote house in a village on an island.
No internet, no cell service.
There was internet.
Terrible internet.
Spotty.
Yeah, there was like 15 of us in the house, and we all had to be in the one room to get internet. So we were all like doing rotations. But there was no internet, no cell service, and no transportation. That was that was the hardest thing about our wedding. We got to be honest about that. That all 3 of those things were kind of ass.
Yeah.
Oh, she took that one personally.
No,
But
I'm
what
trying to
saying-
think. Like, the internet didn't bother me at all.
How
What
did
was the other one?
The internet bothered the shit out of me because remember we had to like air dry. I had to do so much homework before. It's like, make sure these are downloaded. How do we get this on Spotify? Like this. Like, how are we gonna do that? And then I had to label everything because we didn't have any internet.
That was just poor planning. That wasn't like an internet thing.
See, I think this is
The
where
music-
we're gonna disagree.
I asked you to download the music on your computer earlier, so that was that.
Yeah, but
What else?
being able to like text people was pretty rough because people were like down there, like trying to figure it out.
That's not true.
For me, it was
Who was down there trying to figure it out, trying to contact you?
Mima, Alex.
Oh, that was after the wedding. Now you were talking about extracurriculars.
I'm just saying, in general, a lift would have been nice, like a ski lift or something, to get up there.
Yeah.
That was a little brutes. The driving was a little brutes. I love you. Don't get
Another
mad
thing
at
that
me.
money takes care of, if you have enough money to visit the venue prior to the wedding, which should be a normal thing, that's helpful. I didn't see our wedding venue until the night before the wedding, so that was kind of crazy.
That was kind of rough.
But I do want to backtrack a little and make sure I'm painting the picture that I have absolutely no regrets. It was the best decision ever. And it was very meaningful for me personally, for my family, and for my friends. And for some of your friends that have told me. Do you feel the same?
My chopped liver over
No,
here?
I'm saying I'm not going to speak for you. I'm going to speak for me.
I like that. I like that.
Do you agree?
Individuality, even within a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
Do you agree?
I had a great time. I had a fantastic, beautiful time. I couldn't have asked for anything more. Like, what more am I going to ask for? You know,
Great food.
you could nitpick. You know what I mean? Like, do I wish my brother Michael was there? Yeah. You
Well,
know,
that's not nitpicking. That was tough.
that was tough. You know, so like, there's little stuff like, you know, that there were moments there where, you know, you get a little bit sad. But my thing was, and we talked about it the day before.
We had some big people not make it, which was really tough.
Yeah. So we had a discussion before that we couldn't let any of that take away from the fact that it was us. Like, regardless of whatever happens today, it's us.
Mm-hmm.
So I think once we got to that understanding, we were good until the weather looked like it was going to rain and Selena was going to fucking lose her mind. The whole day, I think, up until we had to separate to get dressed and stuff, every 10 seconds out of your mouth was, I can't believe it's going to rain.
Yeah. So on weather.com, whenever the forecast becomes available, it's 10 days, I think. from 10 days before the wedding on, I was obsessed with refreshing the weather app.
Okay.
Like a sickness.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It was really bad. And, you know, I have a lot of anxiety centered around plans falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
You know that in general.
Very much so.
It could be a dinner reservation across the street. If we get there and they're actually closed, or like they don't have a reservation or something like that, I lose it. That's something I'm working on. So having a wedding was really, and actually the wedding helped me.
How so?
Because from 10 days out, it was showing rain on the day of the wedding, which was very unusual for this area and this time of year. It's like a risk, obviously, to plan an outdoor wedding, but I picked sort of a foolproof location. It just doesn't rain there that time of year.
Yeah.
It was so easy. All it had to do was not rain, and sure enough, it was showing rain, and it was very, very, very upsetting for days and days and days. But
you're so hard to talk to in those moods, because I'll be like, oh, like, I love you, like, it's all good, don't worry about it. You'd be like, I know you love me, but my life is ruined.
I felt bad because there was really nothing anybody could say to me, and I was being so annoying. I was talking to my patients about it, and everybody was trying to be like, oh, but that's good luck. And I was thinking in my head, like, you don't understand. To plan something for a year and to have it wouldn't just be an inconvenience. It would ruin everything. I legitimately don't even know what we would have done.
I would have married the shit out of you anywhere.
Well, that's sweet. But we were married anyway.
Yeah. Well, here's why we were. I'll tell them why it didn't rain. I'll tell them why it didn't rain.
Well, let me just say before you say that, because this comes first.
Whose show is this?
This was a really valuable life lesson for me, because it was showing rain, and then our welcome dinner, which was at this like famous restaurant day, spectacular, beautiful, and it was raining, and it was kind of chilly because it was on the water. And I was looking around like, okay, my worst nightmare is coming true. And yet I'm looking around at all of these people who traveled to celebrate our love, and everybody's having a great time. And we're in this beautiful, breathtaking setting, and the food is amazing, and it's fine. And it wasn't until that moment that I was able to relax. And then, sure enough, day of the wedding was picture perfect.
Now you ruined my story.
Well, no, that's
You
the end.
ruined it.
So talk about
You
why it was
ruined my
perfect.
story.
Talk about why it was perfect.
Podcasting 101.
How'd you do it?
Ruined my story.
Well, fans of yours already know that it was a pretty day because they saw pictures.
That's true. That's true. This is how I saw it. This is how my day came together.
Is any of this interesting?
Of course it is. I saw my wife very upset. All right? She was very upset. I was saying, I can't wait to get married to you today. She was like, me too. It's going to rain. I was like, listen, I can't wait to spend it forever with you. She was like, I can't wait to spend forever with you. Let me just look at the clouds. And I was like, I get it. I understand where you're coming from. It might be rough. But we'll get through it. We get separated. We have to go our separate ways. She has to go get dressed. She has to blah, blah, blah. I got to get dressed. So I'm in the bathroom getting dressed, and I'm looking outside, and it's cloudy as shit. It's so cloudy. Like, real bad. Like, the cloudiest of cloudiness I've ever seen in my life. Really bad.
Wow.
And I went in the bathroom, and I looked in the mirror, and I said, God, I know I haven't spoke to you in a while. I know we haven't talked in a long time. But you know I love you, and I know you love me, but I need a solid. And I said, God, if you could just let the sun shine for 4 hours or 3 hours or whatever, just enough time for us to get married, I will go to church every Sunday for a month. Okay? And I'm saying this out loud. I'm saying this out loud to myself, right? What'd you say?
Nothing.
So I'm saying this out loud to myself, but I'm just saying it out loud. You know what I mean? Like, oh, God, like, please save me, help me. And I shit you not, 15 minutes later, my dad comes up to me and goes, look at that. And I look up, and there's just a beam of light coming through the cloud. So now I'm starting to be like, oh man, like maybe we got a shot here. Like if stuff just kind of just dissipates, you know what I mean? Just get out of there. Is that a word? Dissipate? Okay, nice. Just dissipate. I shit you not. Within 20 minutes, there was not a fucking cloud to be seen in the skies. In the skies of Mallorca. When I tell you that it looked like Bob Ross went up there and just painted over a ton of clouds and just made everything as blue as ever could be. And another thing was we were holding off buying a tent because we didn't want to spend the extra money on tent, but we ended up getting the tent, and thankfully we did get the tent because it got hot as shit at one point because we were standing on a mountain and the sun was beaming down on everybody. So we got lucky and God heard me. But the only problem was that Selena's mom heard me too, and she is holding it to me that I have to go to church and I have to say what's up to God for every Sunday for a month.
Right. You didn't tell him which month was.
I didn't say which month was the catch. I didn't say next month. I didn't know, but I said there will be a month, God, where I come and hang out with you every Sunday for a month. Yeah. And I'll do it. I'll get to it. He knows he's busy. He's busier than me. Yeah. He's busier than me, but I'll make sure I'll make good on that bet. I'll make good on that. He blessed us.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, of course. You know, every once in a while, you know, you got to sprinkle little God dust all over the place. I feel like he just came down and just went, yeah, and got rid of everything for us. He was there.
Should we director's cut our wedding video?
Yeah, we could director's cut our video. You know what? Let's do that after I read the ads. Let me read the ads, and then let's really get into the questions and everything like that. Okay?
We'll director's cut the video.
And then we'll director's cut the video after the ads. All right, so let's get into the ads. First sponsor of the show, our great friends over at Mint Mobile. From the gas pump to the grocery store, your utility bills and favorite streaming services, inflation is everywhere. Seriously, make it stop. Thankfully, there's one company out there that's giving you a much-needed break, and guess who that is? I'll tell you. It's Mint Mobile. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. That's 15, all right? Let me tell you something. I have friends that are with other companies, right? And they're spending upwards of $100-something a month for unlimited plans and other kind of plans for the mobile phones, okay? So this is what I'm going to try and tell you. Imagine saving $85 a month on a mobile plan. Think of all the things you could do with $85. You could take your wife out to dinner, you know? You could take your wife out to a movie. You could take your wife out to do so many things. Your partner, your husband, whoever. You could do so much with $85. Who wouldn't want to save $85, okay? And by go on, online only and eliminating the traditional cost of retail, Mint Mobile passes significant savings on to you. All plans come with unlimited talk and text and high-speed internet delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts, because I hate that. Sometimes I switch, you got to switch your phone number. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. All right, so switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/lops. That's Mint Mobile, MINT, mobile.com/lops, LOPS. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com. Also, our friends over at Liquid IV. All right? Everyone always said to me, hey, Danny, what's going on, man? I know you have diabetes. Like, you know, you probably shouldn't take so much sugar. And guess who also listened to me? My friends over at Liquid IV, and I'm going to tell you why. Here's the first thing about Liquid IV. Proper functional hydration is essential, and Liquid IV is the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. Every time I get Liquid IV sent to me, guess whose sister bothers me every time to get it? Her sister. All right? She's like, hey, you got Liquid IV? She comes up to visit. You got Liquid IV? Loves Liquid IV. All right? And why wouldn't you? It's amazing because just with one stick,
You can hydrate real life 2 times faster than water alone, plus get essential vitamins and 3 times the electrolytes as leading sports drinks. Liquid IV comes in 12 delicious flavors to keep your hydration routine exciting. All right, and guess what? 1 stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster or more efficiently than water alone. Contains 5 essential vitamins: B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C, with 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. And guess what? It's made with quality ingredients, non-GMO, and free from gluten, dairy, and soy. Holler at your boy. Also, holler at Liquid IV. You can grab your Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code LOPS at checkout. That's 20% off anything when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code LOPS at liquidiv.com. I also love that they have a sugar-free recipe now. There's so many flavors. They're so good. I love them. They were like, hey, Danny, you got diabetes? Don't worry about it. We got you, dog. And I was like, no way. And they were like, yeah, huh? And I was like, nuh-uh. And they were like, yeah, huh? And guess what? They blessed me. And also for you guys out there who are other sugar warriors, they got you covered in that realm as well. So go to liquidiv.com. Use code LOPS, LOPS at checkout. Get that 20% off. All right? You know who I also love? HelloFresh. Love HelloFresh. All right? Kickstart a fresh fall routine with HelloFresh. HelloFresh handles all the meal planning and shopping to deliver everything you need to cook up a tasty meal right at home, baby. They do the hard part for you, and you get to take the credit. When it comes to options, honestly, more is more, and this is why I love them. That's why HelloFresh menu includes 40 recipes and over 100 add-ons to choose from every week. Think about the combinations you can make with all of those amazing ingredients. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild? One of my favorite things about getting HelloFresh is getting it sent to the crib, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, maybe I could cook this. And then I'm like, oh, no, maybe Selena could cook it because she's a better cook than me. And she's taken some HelloFresh meals, and she has hooked them things up, dog. And HelloFresh is amazing. They give you all the recipes. The portions are great. Everything's great about HelloFresh. You know, they've been on the show forever. You guys know why I love HelloFresh. And listen, it saves you time. You have meals that are just like, hey, I need some meals that are quick and easy. They got recipes for those. They have 15-minute meals. So you're like, oh, I don't want to stay and cook all night. I can't do that. They have 15-minute meals. Your move. What are you going to do? That's what I love the most about it. I don't like spending too much time in the kitchen unless I'm eating, cooking. Not for me. Not really good at it. Don't really care to be good at it. But guess what? HelloFresh has changed that about me. I like cooking, and I like cooking their meals quick and fast. If you go to HelloFresh.com/50LOPS and use the code 50LOPS, you will get 50, that's 50, off plus 15% off the next 2 months. All right? So you get 50% off, and then you get 15 off the next 2 months. That's pretty awesome. So if someone came to you and knocked on your door and said, hey, you want 50% off all your food this month? I think you'll say yes. I think everybody would. And they're like, hey, you want to know something? Do you a little favor. We're going to give you 15% off the next 2 months. How's that sound? And you're going to say, yeah, I'll do that. All right? And this is what I want you to do. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Don't be afraid to get it popping in your kitchen with our friends over at HelloFresh. So go to HelloFresh.com/50LOPS and use the code 50LOPS for 50% off plus 15 off the next 2 months. And our last but not least sponsor is our friends over at Draftkings, baby. Can you believe we've had 7 months without an NFL football game? Who won the Super Bowl, babe? Who won the Super Bowl? You should know this.
I'm cropped out of this, right?
No, not this part. Who won the Super Bowl?
The Chiefs.
Okay, there we go. Kansas City Chiefs, your favorite football team. Okay, can you believe it that we've had 7 months without an NFL football game since the Chiefs won the Super Bowl? What is that? That's crazy. It's wild. This week, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly. When you bet just $5 on any NFL game, DraftKings is hooking everyone up with game day greatness. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day this September. Check the app to see what you can get. Download it now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app on your phone right now. Use code LOPS to sign up. That's LOPS. New customers can take home $200 in bonuses instantly just for betting $5. That's LOPS LOPS. That's the promo code to use. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, you could also call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Love you guys. And, yeah, let's get back to the show.
Ew.
Right. Hey, what's up? So, what are we doing now? We're checking out the wedding video?
We're gonna director's cut.
We're going to director's
Just the
cut.
clip, just the highlight of her video.
Yeah,
like
because
Instagram.
you can't play music because I'll get DMCA'd.
No, I'm just saying I'm not gonna play the 20-minute wedding video.
Oh,
right now.
no,
Just
no.
a
Play
little
the
clip.
trailer. Yeah, the trailer.
I've always wanted to director's cut something.
You've like commentary, not director's cut.
Director's cut.
Is that what it is?
When you talk over,
No, I think that's commentary.
what are you talking about? You don't watch director's cuts?
I do from time to like on old DVDs that I had. I used to watch
yeah.
those. Yeah, I was a big fan of those. I used to watch them with the Sopranos too. I had Sopranos DVDs, and they would always do like director's cuts. Some of the actors would come in and
Yeah, I love that.
talk over the thing. All right, so let's do it.
Okay, so come here.
Oh, I thought you were gonna throw it on the TV.
Oh.
No, it's all right. We can put it over here. All right, hit play.
Can I pause it when we need to pause it?
Yeah, you can pause it when we need to pause it. I'll have to figure it out in editing.
You have to pause it.
I'll have to pause it in editing, but yeah, let's go.
I can teach you how.
Yeah, we'll just timestamp it. It's fine.
Okay.
All right, so, here's our
First
wedding
thing-
video.
Great hat. You love the logo, right?
Oh yeah, these hats aren't for sale though, guys.
This is what I care the most about is font. So this opening shot just makes me happy.
Hey, listen, I hear that. It's a great picture of the town.
This is probably the day before. That's why it's cloudy.
That's where we
It's
had
the welcome dinner
our
restaurant.
welcome dinner restaurant. It's me holding you.
Cute.
Cute. Walking on the rocks. I was a little scared walking on those rocks, to be honest with you. It's my dad. My dad gave me a weird kiss back there. You saw that?
That was
Rewind
great.
that kiss. Rewind that kiss. Like his lips didn't move.
You're gonna rewind and post?
Yeah. His lips like didn't move. Watch what he kisses me here. He just throws little lips on me.
I love this look.
I love it. I loved it.
We got a lot of Godfather comments.
Yes.
Great shot of you.
Great shot of me
You
just standing there
We're
in the light.
killing the camera. I was not as natural on film for sure. But the Godfather stuff, a bunch of my family was asking me too. They were like, was that all intentional? I was like, I mean, I didn't model anything after the Godfather, but obviously to me that's the ideal.
It was very GF. It was very Godfather-ish.
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't-
possible that the Godfather influenced my wedding dress choice.
I would say so. I
Yeah.
would say so 100%.
Yeah.
I think we'd be lying to say that The Godfather did not influence our wedding at all. Let's just say that.
But not like deliberately.
No, not like
It was
tacky,
nothing we ever discussed.
Not tacky. You didn't blow up.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if we were really copying The Godfather, you would have exploded in a car, and I would have had to come home and marry Diane Keaton.
And we should have given you a black eye.
That too, yeah, and a broken jaw. And then I should have shot someone and then escaped to Italy. For a
You
while.
did want to wear a Matador jacket, which
I-
I think would have definitely clarified this isn't full-blown Godfather. Don't forget, we're in a different country.
You wouldn't let me wear a Matador jacket.
Not to the ceremony.
No, but also my red shoes. I wasn't allowed to wear my red shoes at the
to the
ceremony.
church.
And then you
And
said
then
I
you
could
put them
switch.
on.
Yeah.
I just asked that you not wear anything crazy in the church.
Was
which
that
didn't
all right?
happen.
All right, that's fine. You can keep going because some people are popping on screen.
Yeah, they are.
That's me. Backtrack. How'd you feel about this
Look
look
at the
right
dress. My look or this look to the mirror?
here? This look.
This
to the
shot?
mirror. Yeah. How do you feel about yourself right here on camera?
Great shot. I'm certainly feeling myself here. There was very, very few shots of me feeling myself because, I don't know. Loved my look, though.
I love the
Valentina
look.
was the star of the show. It's my niece.
It's also my niece now too. Get it together. We're married.
True.
Okay.
She thought I was a princess.
It's your dad
My
crying a
parents
little bit.
crying killed me.
Your mom crying. So this
It's us in the
is all right.
church.
Pause it right here. This is the church that we were supposed to be married in,
Yeah.
but all the stuff fell through with Catholicism. Even though I did pray to
That's
God,
not true.
but the Catholicism was like, "Hey, hold up, slow your roll. You can't get married in here." So I was like, "Okay, that's fine."
Nobody said no to us. We didn't do the process very efficiently or with enough time. So it just kind of fell apart.
I'm a
But
Protestant whore, so I wasn't allowed to get married there. I'm just gonna put that.
Yes,
out there.
you were.
I don't know if I was.
You 1,000% were. It was that we couldn't get the paperwork together here to get to Spain there, and also communicating with the church in Spain was very, very, very difficult. So the whole thing was a mess.
It's not because I'm a Protestant rat.
No.
Just roaming around the streets all Protestant.
No. So I will say, while we're paused here, that I was adamant on not doing a first look. The most important thing about the wedding to me was having you see me walk down an aisle. That was really important to me. When the church plan fell through, so we ended up having the ceremony at the venue, which was spectacular, and the officiant was beyond what I could have asked for.
Great.
He was
had
amazing.
An English accent. He was so nice.
He was
I felt like I
awesome.
knew him my whole life. He made me cry a bunch. I cried a lot, actually.
You
now that I
cried,
think
and
about
here
it.
you're about to cry.
Yeah.
But one of the sweetest things was our photographer, Lucas. I said at one point, we were kind of running late, not extremely, but I was saying, if we don't make it to the church for pictures, that's okay. And he pulled me aside and he was like, one of the things you mentioned to me early on was that was the most important moment for you. So even though this plan sort of fell through, we can still give you that moment in a church. Like, why not?
Yes.
And I was like, let's do it.
Shout out Lucas. We'll put everybody's information in the description.
And I need to still put their shout outs on Instagram. Okay. The church was spectacular, and the village area around the church was beautiful, so I was very glad we went. So it was just the two of us and the photographer and videographer. You cried.
All right.
What'd you think? First moment, what did you think of my look? And what were you expecting I was going to wear?
All right. I'm going to use a really weird analogy, and I'm not trying to be crass or anything. But, as a guy growing up, sometimes you would imagine what a girl's boobs look like. And if you were to ever to see them, they were never what you imagined they'd look like. They always look different.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So in my mind, I had so many ideas of what your dress would look like. I was very adamant that I did not want to see anything about it. I didn't want to hear anything about it. Yeah, I was extremely adamant that I didn't want to know anything about it. I don't want to know a goddamn thing about it. Mm-hmm. So when I saw it, it was beyond my expectations of what a dress could look like.
Aww.
I think it was the prettiest dress for you, and I think it's one of the prettiest dresses that I've seen just overall. It's the most beautiful dress I've ever seen.
Wow.
So I'm happy you didn't go crazy on the veil. You kept it almost like vintage, but not at the same time, if you know what I'm saying. It showed off, it accentuated your body and your curves and stuff very well. So I really digged the entire ensemble. And she got her wedding dress at Kleinfeld. Is that what it's called? And tell them how many dresses you tried on.
So it was the first dress I ever put on. I did try on a couple after that, but none of them lived up to the moment. But I was so worried about what you were going to think of the dress because it was kind of a bold choice for me. I didn't necessarily see myself as a ball gown girly, but I definitely shopped for the venue, particularly the church. Yeah. I wanted to be dressed for the church.
Did you try to get a sexier look going at one point? Like, were you going to be like, oh, I need a slit in my dress or something?
I did think about not sexier, but...
You can't put a slit in a wedding dress, can you?
I didn't say it out loud. Maybe I said it to you, but I thought for a second about putting a slit in the ball gown. I don't really know what I was thinking, but after I tried this dress on, I did try on a couple more form-fitting dresses, and it just didn't feel right after seeing this. So basically, I walked in, and I said I consider myself somebody who would go for like a sleek, minimalist look, but I'm getting married at this crazy monastery in Spain, and when I think of it, I just can't help but think of only having one day of my life that I can dress like Grace Kelly. That's what I said.
Got it.
And she said, Grace Kelly,
Gotcha.
BRB. And she pulled out this dress. And the second I put it on, I was like, oh, God, I'm screwed. because I had no intentions of buying a dress. I went to Kleinfeld because I thought it would be fun for my sisters to experience the Say Yes to the Dress place, and my sisters and mom and grandma were with me. I had no intention of getting a dress there. I just went for some clarity, and I was going to maybe have a dress made or something. But then when I tried this on, I knew it was going to be a wrap, sort of. So I walked out, and my sisters and mom and grandma all started crying. The very first dress I'm putting on, everybody's crying. They put on the veil, which is unusual for them to do that. They do that when you're nearing, like, saying yes to the dress. This is the first dress I'm wearing. They're putting a veil on me. I'm like, what is happening? And they're like, oh, by the way, the designer's here. So the designer comes over. She's emotional.
Oh, wow.
She's like, this is everything I'm the first person. No, well, I'm not the first person wearing it, but maybe I'm the first she's witnessed because it's her trunk show. I don't know. She was emotional, or a really good actress, and it worked. And yeah, I bought it that day.
How much did that dress cost?
I'm not going to say that, but I will say my sister and my mom gifted me some of it, which was very nice.
Can I throw
Most
out
of
a
it.
number? Can I throw out a number and you say more or less? You don't have to say.
There's just a number I'm hoping you don't say.
All right, $5,000.
Around that.
Okay. All right. So that works. Okay.
What I will say to you is that I walked into Kleinfeld saying that was my budget. So don't show me anything
Right.
over that. So.
Okay. All right. And then.
But also, I was just saying that because I was like, I'm just in here to look at dresses. No part of me thought I would.
Alex isn't going to let you walk into Kleinfeld and not get something.
Yeah, I should have known that.
Yeah, that's the oldest Alex trick in the. Alex is her sister.
And I started
That's the oldest
panicking.
Alex trick in the book. Oh, hey, what's up? We'll go in here. You're gonna leave with something.
Yeah. I started panicking, and they started to say, Selena, are you saying yes to the... They did the thing that they do in the show.
Right.
Like, what's happening? Everybody calm down.
Did
There's
you
no
say
way
yes?
I'm buying a dress.
Did you say yes because you felt like bullied a little bit?
That day when I got home, I cried hysterically. I couldn't believe that I bought the first dress I ever put on my body. I was very, very upset about it. Actually, for an entire year, I was kind of upset about it.
You cried. Where was I?
I don't know. I was definitely crying. I cried a lot over this dress. It just was very unlike me to get the first dress I ever put on.
Yeah.
But seeing it in its home, in the venue, it all felt right.
I agree. How'd you like my suit?
It looked great. You were starting to upset me a little bit.
So here is the thing.
Well, let me just say.
Whoa. Give me a second.
Wait, I was still talking. Somebody who I think you're kind of known for dressing well.
Yeah, of course.
When you try to.
Yeah, if
you get a little bummy, but.
Yeah, but that's if I'm like going to the store and stuff like that. If I'm going out.
But so I had
look
high
good.
expectations. I thought you were gonna be like doing research into suits. It was like weeks before, and I was saying, "Hey, are you gonna get a suit anytime soon, or what's the deal?" You made me a little bit nervous, but it looked great.
All right, can I tell my side of the story?
I loved the lapel pin. What do you call it?
It's a little pin.
I thought it was very cool.
It's not a brooch, but
Yeah.
it's a lapel pin. So here's how it goes. Okay, Selena has the metabolism of a 7-year-old. And I have the metabolism of a 73-year-old. So I was trying to lose as much weight as possible to get into a suit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I'm counting down the days like, all right, like I'm going to Taylor's, looking at places. I'm like, oh gosh, like I don't know. One place I go, you got to understand when it's a tailored suit, you would know. The smallest half a quarter of an inch, big deal.
I understand.
All right? So that's what happened.
Okay.
Let's roll the footy. Does dance.
We
in the
had our
street.
first dance in the middle of the village.
That's me throwing a wink. What people don't know is in the full video, for some reason, my dad, Jared, and we all winked at the camera with our left eye. No
That's
plan.
one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. I posted it to my story. I couldn't believe that.
Oh, yeah. That's right. You did. Post
Genetics are wild.
Genetics are wild. We all did something with our left eye.
You
And
all winked at the camera as you approached it with the same
I
eye.
think it's pretty cool. Here comes Selena with her dad, David. Shout out D-Sil. It's the GOAT. Gives me a big old hug right there.
I love that
That's
hug.
my guy. Me crying
More
again.
crying. Loved
That's a
the
great shot.
flowers.
That's a great shot. What did you think of our first kiss? Bring it back.
We talked about our first kiss, and did we execute it
I think
how we
so.
said we would?
I think so.
You have a lot of passion in your eyes in this kiss.
I'm a passionate guy. What if imagine I just pecked you? Like the first kiss you ever gave me ever? The first kiss Selena ever gave me, like it was almost like I was a fan asking for a picture. That was the first kiss she ever gave me. This was the first kiss she ever gave me.
That's not true.
Yeah. We were in
Anyway.
it's like 7th grade. It's us walking down, people throwing stuff at us. And we're walking down the hill. I was afraid. Where did we go now then? Just like while they were prepping stuff, what did we have?
The cocktail hour.
Yeah, but where did we go? I forgot.
To the cocktail hour.
No, we were alone for a little bit.
No.
Yeah,
We didn't take any we took our portrait pictures.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You can hit play. This guy was great.
Food, amazing.
Yeah, food was a 10.
Paella, chorizo, ham, prawns, gazpacho, tuna tartare.
Yeah, tuna tartare went crazy. I might have ate 40 of those.
The churros, late night snack churros.
You had churros. I forgot.
As a late night snack. Chocolate dipping
Chocolate
sauce,
dip,
so
whatever it
good.
was, fantastic.
The sangria welcome drink was amazing. Some said the best sangria they've ever had.
This guy's whipping work in there.
I don't think there's any there's no clips of the cocktail hour. The space where the cocktail hour was so pretty.
It's you and the homies. It's us cutting.
What'd you think
cake.
of the cake?
I thought the cake was great because for me, I can only eat light fruity cake like that. So it was a very diabetic friendly cake for me.
There was anything I had an idea for that wasn't traditional. I got some pushback on, and people really want you to have the tiered cake even overseas.
Nah, fuck that thing.
People were very upset about this
the thing
cake.
was, is if we got married in New York, give me a tiered cake.
Not
What
even.
am I
This
gonna
was
do? I'm gonna
perfect to
travel.
me.
I'm gonna travel with a cake in my carry-on. Like, how am I supposed to bring any of the cake back? You leave it like that.
Well, we didn't take any of the cake back.
No, but we took a lot of
Sadly.
leftovers though.
We had so much paella that weekend.
And I didn't go to bed till like 7:00 in the morning, and I probably stayed up all night eating like paella out of the fridge, just going and grabbing like
I didn't know
individual
that.
shrimp and shit, and just like crushing it. It was one of the best nights of my life.
Oh my god.
So our first dance. How'd you feel about our first dance?
I have a couple patients who are getting married soon who are talking to me about getting dance lessons, and the idea leading up to our wedding seemed so silly to me. Just like the whole process of planning a wedding was figuring out where can we cut costs, and that just seems like an easy place. I don't need to spend money. But it would have been maybe nice to have a dip in there or something. I don't like people looking at me, so dancing.
I would have done whatever you wanted me to do, but I was like, I don't think she's gonna feel dancing in front of people.
I thought it was totally fine.
I thought it was
we
fine.
were just swaying back and forth
Yeah.
to a little
People like
Daniel
the song.
Caesar.
Little Daniel Caesar.
It was nice. Did you feel like we should have done some choreo?
No. You're not comfortable in those situations.
I don't even like watching people's first dances. Is that bad?
No, I don't think the weirdest thing about first dances is like there's food out. It's like, do I eat while you dance? Like, this is weird, like medieval shit. It like bothers me. Like,
And our
like,
setup was very intimate, so it was
Yeah.
just, they were right there staring at us.
yeah, and there was enough going on that we kind of looked at our first dance like we want to kind of just get back to the party. Like, if they
Yeah.
said to us, if someone convinced us that it would be okay to not do a first dance, I don't think we would have done one.
I appreciate it for the traditional aspect. I would have
Right.
not wanted to not do one, but
Right, but I think we tried to be as traditional as possible with this wedding.
I think we held on to the right things. My father-daughter dance was pretty untraditional, thanks to you.
Yes, very untraditional. Well, I think we'll get there in the video. So what
No, it's
what
not
part
in
is
there.
this?
This is the end.
Oh, this is the end. This is the party. My niece dancing, and then a drone shot of us. Yeah, there it is. I will say this: there were two moments in the wedding that I don't think I've ever told you about, and I'm gonna tell you. Before, so Selena and her dad were going to dance to
James Taylor.
which song?
I forget.
It was just like any James Taylor song.
No, I just can't think of what it is.
Okay. So they danced to James Taylor. I forgot too. That's why I asked.
Neither of us could decide on a song. We knew it was going to be James Taylor.
JT, little JT. while you guys were about to dance, the thing cut off, and the battery died, and it was super awkward. And Selena,
I don't think it was super awkward, but
no, it is awkward because you guys are standing there like getting ready to dance.
but
and,
it was so low key and intimate that it didn't feel awkward.
right. For me,
I was the one in position to feel awkward, and I didn't.
yeah,
so
but
I'm
I
just
felt
letting you know.
awkward. I felt awkward.
Well,
in this
obviously
situation.
you did. That's why you made the decision to.
So Selena goes, of all things, she goes, Danny, do something. Yes, you said, Danny, do something.
I didn't leave it so vague. I said, Danny, can you play the music or something?
No.
Like, you had the music on a different system. I was asking you to plug your phone in, plug your computer in.
I know, but you said, Danny, do something. That's a sentence that came out of your mouth.
That's such a movie sentence. Like, I didn't say that.
All I know is, Danny, do something.
Danny,
that's-
do something.
Yeah. So what I did is I sang the national anthem. And I think people were going to...
At a wedding in
At
Spain.
a wedding in Spain. And I think everybody thought that I was going to not finish the whole thing or that I didn't know all the words.
Yeah.
But I do know all the words because I've practiced the national anthem many times for ever the moment that I am called upon to perform the national anthem in public.
This was your time.
This was my time. And I'll be honest with you, I think I knocked it out of the fucking ballpark.
You did.
Okay.
I
It was a
also agree
traditional-
that
it was a-
5 seconds of it would have been hilarious, and that's what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And you just really kept going.
And then
And the
everybody...
guests really got into it.
The guests really got into it. There were hands over hearts. You put your hand over your heart. And then guess what? As soon as it was done, music came back on. Party kept going.
Yeah.
All right. I think Selena has a problem that, like, I'll say a joke, and then maybe if I repeat it or I may let it go a little too long, she'll get upset. Not upset. It's a lack of a better word, but like you'll be like, oh, like, all right, okay.
Well, I have to reel you in sometimes.
Get the real me in.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I took a big diarrhea dump during our wedding, and I have to tell you why.
I was wondering if you could go an episode without.
Nah, it's the truth.
Having
People want the
diarrhea.
truth. People want the truth, and I'm going to tell it. I've been
Are
waiting.
you at all concerned about how much diarrhea you actually have?
Yeah. Sometimes I'm worried about my butt, but not all the time. You can't spend your life being worried about your butt. If you're worried about your butt all the time, well, you're not going to live. That's what people at IBS, they don't even go outside because they're afraid they're going to poop their pants. What I'm saying is, while you were dancing with your dad, and after that moment, I remember going and talking to my dad, and I just had that moment, that pressure drop, where it's like, right down into like my lower intestine. Mm-hmm. So I remember running up to the bathroom of the room that we were staying in, and I used the bathroom. Shout out Europe. They all have bidets. I was good. I was in and out, had to do my thing. But this is what I wanted to get to, is there was a little window in our bathroom. So after I take this poopy and I do the bidet on my tush, I go and I look out the window, and I just took in the entire thing for like 5 minutes. So in a way, I don't think I would have ever been able to see that view from the wedding if I didn't have diarrhea. So in that moment, the diarrhea actually became beautiful. It was like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, but it's diarrhea.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
it's really special.
It was, and I got to see everybody just enjoying the string lights and all the stuff. It was so nice, and I think I thank God for that. And then another thing that that happened on our wedding night when we went to sleep. When I woke up in the morning, do you remember that there were like those 2 stairs? I fell down those stairs.
I did not know that.
You don't remember that?
No.
So there was 2 small stairs to like walk down and like walk to the bathroom. I took a little tumble and fell on my butt. Yeah, I fell right on my butt. My
Your
butt
butt had a rough 2
my
days.
butt had a rough night. Do you think you were banged up on the sauce?
No, I had a perfect amount of drinks.
Okay. I think you were a little banged up. In a good way, in a festive way. I don't think, it's your wedding. You're allowed to get a little
I
banged
felt
up.
perfectly fine in the morning. I was.
Oh, no, we didn't. Oh, this is a big lie. First of all, both of us did not feel well
You're making me anxious. What's going on?
You didn't feel sick the day after? Because I remember when we were driving, we both were going to throw up.
That was something totally unrelated. I was having motion sickness because the drive up was insane. Totally different.
Yeah, but we drove to dinner with your Majorcan family, who were just like the cutest, littlest people I've ever seen in my life.
Littlest.
They're just so adorable. They spoke no English, like very, very, very little, and they were just speaking in Spanish and just.
And they're
being
speaking
so nice.
Majorquin on top of it all, so it was
So I couldn't
really
understand.
difficult
Yeah,
for
I couldn't
us.
really understand it. They got us very cute gifts, beautiful stuff. And then they have a restaurant there that we went to and had a whole bunch of food. It was beautiful what they did for us. They were amazing people, but they were just so little and cute. Everything about them was adorable. So we had that. But that drive down there was like an hour and 15 minutes. And I remember just being like, you might have to take over this drive.
that was tough.
I was struggling.
Me too.
I was struggling. You know what?
We're getting to questions?
Yeah, let's get into some questions. Let's talk to the people. The people want to ask us questions. They've been waiting. And I want to give them what they came here for. You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. Let's mute that. First question is from Jazz Queen. Responded. Said, if you have a son, will he be a Danny too? I think
Good question.
we're gonna stop the Dannies with me. I think
Oh.
for now. My thing is, I've always wanted a boy, but if it's boy or girl, they have to have a ridiculous Italian name. They have to have ridiculous Italian names. Like I can't have a kid and name him fucking Axel.
I'm not on board with the ridiculous part, but yeah.
What are we gonna name him, Brock?
I would like their first name to be fitting with their last name.
Yeah, so you want them to have Italian names. Give me a name. I'm gonna just throw out Italian names and you say if it's too ridiculous or not.
Okay.
Giuseppe.
No, I love that.
Okay. Some people would argue right off the bat that Giuseppe is a ridiculous name.
Well, that's mean, but yes, I would say that falls into maybe I would describe it as inauthentic to us.
Giuseppe.
Yeah, I love it though.
Right? All right. Here's another one.
It's not a contender, I'll say that.
Francesco.
Francesco. No.
Okay.
No, I like it.
Oh, you like it. All right. You have to say like it or ridiculous. Like it or ridiculous. That's it. That's all you could do. You can't go halfway. It's either
I
ridiculous
don't
or
want
you
to
like
say
it.
names ridiculous.
No, it doesn't matter. So Giuseppe.
No, I love Giuseppe.
All right. Francesco.
Love it.
Dominic.
Great. Yeah. That's a good
That's also my uncle's name.
realistic name.
Yeah, my uncle Dominic. Danilo.
No.
No, you have to say ridiculous, or you like.
Why do you want me to say something mean?
It's not mean.
Okay, not going with that name.
We're talking about ridiculous Italian names over the edge. You know what I mean? Alfonso. Luca.
So cute.
You like Luca?
But I think that name's popping right now.
Luca's popping? Probably because like Luka Doncic and shit.
I think the movie.
Oh yeah, Luca.
But I love that name.
Luca. You like the name Luca? Okay. Antonio.
That name is in my family. So I like that name.
Alfredo.
I just can't.
Why?
This doesn't feel like a.
Because it's a sauce.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like a possibility.
You don't want to look. You don't want to look at a sauce and think of your kid. What's another ridiculous Italian name?
Geppetto.
Geppetto. That's a ridiculous Italian name. What do you call him? Petto? You can't call your kid that. I didn't even try to do that. I'm sorry. I didn't even try to do that. But yeah, we'll fix it in post.
So we're not going with Danny the Third.
We're not going with Danny the Third. I don't think.
Do you like your name?
I love my name. I love my name because my name is not Daniel. It's not my name's a nickname derived from an Italian relative of mine. So
Certainly unique.
yeah, so I have like an Americanized version of an Italian.
Do you think it would be meaningful to your dad if you surprised him and named your son Danny?
Nah, I don't think my dad would care that much.
Really?
Yeah, he has me. He has me. You know what I mean? But we're just gonna get to.
It'd be cool to have a third though. Like that person sounds important. Danny the third.
Yeah, yeah, and then I would probably like go on that. There's like some service where you can get like a kid like knighted or like lorded, and I would definitely get him lorded.
Yeah.
Should Lord Danny LoPriore the third. That'd be fire, dude. Yeah, maybe we'll fix that in post too. But if you think about Italian names, what are like girls' Italian names?
I don't have any girl names
I have no girl names.
in my mind.
What about Apollonia?
Don't tempt me.
You
No.
think that's a ridiculous name? It's all right. Can't believe you don't want to say names are ridiculous.
Because it's not ridiculous. It's just not realistic for us.
Yeah, but I say long story short, our first son's name will probably not be Danny, probably be Angela.
We've talked about that.
I think Angela's a strong name. Both my grandfather's names. And then you want their middle names to be Silver.
Yeah. Not
Are you
intended.
going to change your name to my name or no, you think?
Yeah, I will. I haven't gotten around to that.
Do you feel married even though your name's not LoPriore?
Yeah.
That your name's Silver?
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it here.
Oh,
I'll say it here. If you wanted to keep your name, you could.
thank you for the...
No, I just wanted to make sure
Approval.
because it's 2023 and men have to sign off on everything. You are allowed to keep your name,
Great.
but if we have kids, I'm not hyphenating their names. They're just going to be LoPriores.
I don't want a hyphen either.
They're going to be LoPriores
That's fine.
with different middle names.
I'm just having a hard time with being the last Silver. Yeah.
You're having a hard time with being the last Silver?
The name is dying. It's gone.
So you want to be the last?
We have one hyphenated, which counts, but it's tough.
Is your sister hyphenated?
No,
She just went for it.
both of them.
Both of them just went for it. Okay.
My dad needed to have a son. He had 3 girls.
So let's make a deal. If you keep Silver, Silver can't be our kids' middle names. I can't be walking around with Silvers. I can't.
Well, wait, what?
If you keep your last name, right, and it doesn't become LoPriore, which would be fucking crazy, because the last name is a beautiful last name.
Beautiful last name.
Beautiful last name. It's Italian. It could be French. It could be. It's beautiful. All right. So if you have that going on, that's your deal. You want to keep the Silver name. I get it. Total lineage stuff. Shout out D-Sil. That's my dog. I'm not gonna let my kids have middle name Silver though, because then they're just hyphenated.
They're not going to be hyphenated. Their middle names would be Silver.
No, man. Antonio Giuseppe LoPriore.
It's
We're
not
going
meant.
full.
It's not meant to be said as a full name. It's just meant to carry on this side of their family. I think it's crazy.
Yeah, but what if
to
we
not do that?
Yeah. So what if we have a kid though, right?
Are we going to spend 20 minutes on one question now?
Yeah,
This
no.
sounds like maybe a conversation for...
No. We're gonna do it
Later.
right here. I just don't want to have a kid named Angelo Silver LoPriore and his initials are ASL.
Okay. We'll figure that out.
Dominic Silver LoPriore DSL. We're gonna do these to our kids. Next question. Think about the initials. All right. Here's the next question.
Do you know what a DDL is?
Danish dick lift. Can we name our...
You're sitting over here DDL and you want to talk about initials.
I'm DDL, dude. I'm a fucking, like, Asian shipping
I
service.
don't know what that is.
DDL, dude. I sound like a weird waste management company. DDL and Sons. DDL Industries. That's what it sounds like. I make small screws.
That's
Yeah.
like, you know, a factory that makes like weird furniture.
Yep.
That's what DDL Industries does.
All right. What's the next question?
All right. I can't have my kid go to school.
Yeah.
and be
Let's just
DSL.
air out our marital arguments.
Yeah, man, it's a newlywed show. Do you think you were both going to fall out of the chair when they were lifted you in the hair? I will say, Brooke Bush, I was a little bit because I think they went a little heavy in the back in terms of the upward push. So I did have to hold on. It's like when you're going down a roller coaster and it's like, and you're like, ah. Before that, that's what it felt a little bit. But I made sure that, you know, the guys had me.
Do you think it's wrong to bite off Jewish tradition?
Nah, man, I don't think so because
It's so much fun. They really have that figured out.
it was a Jew's idea to do it.
True.
Multiple Jews came together. Hard J. But multiple Jews came together and that they
It's true.
they
Yeah, we had
bestowed it
genuine.
upon us that we were able to do that.
Yeah.
But I was not scared. What were the fragrances that you wore on your wedding? Do you remember?
I didn't do a wedding day fragrance. I think that's cute, but also an easy area to just save money for me personally. So I was wearing, well, this is going to sound crazy because you got me this super expensive perfume that I'm trying out, love it, but it is not my fragrance. I am 31 years old and have not found my signature fragrance. I'm still on the hunt. But I was wearing Love Don't Be Shy by Killian.
Mm-hmm. And I was wearing
Dior Sauvage.
Elixir.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I said Elixir, Alexa, you idiot. She's so annoying, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I was wearing a Dior Sauvage Elixir. Selena doesn't let me wear any other cologne besides Sauvage. When we first started dating and it was long distance, she would go in the stores and spray Sauvage just to smell me.
Allegedly. It's a great smell. I did not know about the reputation it carries, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm telling you.
D-bags.
Yeah, they're D-bags.
I had no idea.
Yeah. It's. I mean, listen, you want to...
What does that say about me?
I mean, that's a whole nother episode. That's a whole nother episode. Oh, look at this question. XTX... I'm not saying all that. Axel, I think your name is. Was this the Godfather-inspired wedding?
That's so
If
funny.
so, nailed it. Bride and groom, gorge.
That's
I
so
would say,
funny.
as much as you say that it wasn't, it was.
Not explicitly, but I would say we're both inspired by Godfather aesthetic in our day-to-day life.
Yes, but the Godfather was kind of a big deal. I always call it like, I always say like your family, like, or sometimes like you guys like want to be Italian so bad because you guys like love the Godfather and all that stuff. And
Just have good taste in cinema.
yeah. Listen, you guys want to be Italian. I get it.
I'm Italian now.
We'll see.
Where's my horn?
No, you can't get a horn. You can't get a horn. You can't get a horn unless you
These
have an Italian
rules
last
are
name.
crazy.
You can't get yourself a horn. It has to be gifted to you.
Clearly expecting you to get me a horn now that I am married to you and Italian.
Yes, but you have to have an Italian last name to get that. That'll be your gift. If you take my last name, I'll get you a sick ass fucking horn, horned up.
I'll get somebody else to get me a horn.
No, that's not how it works. How are you gonna get somebody else to give you a horn?
I feel like your parents would do it.
But my mom might. But Mom, don't buy her a horn.
I'll talk about it later.
Any fights since being married? Yeah. You know, but I think here's
The same ones.
they're all
though.
the same ones. It's kind of making a mountain out of an anthill kind of situation. But I think that once you get back from being married, then I would love to hear your answer on this. The thing that starts to happen is all this. There's kind of a switch that goes off in your head that, oh, like, this person's here forever. Like, I have to change these certain things about me if this is going to work. So, like, little things that I would just keep doing if we were just dating still, I've tried to minimize somewhat.
Like what?
Like the amount of mess I leave around the place, or like, you know, keep an upkeep after the, you know, whether it be the dogs or whether it be the garbage or, you know, just like little like man things.
Yeah, as I
man
put it,
things.
there's been no serious fights, but we definitely have roommate bickers. It's usually about roommate stuff.
Yeah, we're still.
You left
roommate
this
bickering.
mess, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and thank God for your mom. I don't know if it wasn't for you. Your mom came here and cleaned our entire apartment. She is the light of my life. She is the best. And she said, "Listen, you're gonna go out there. You're gonna go to Target."
She flew up here from South
She
Florida,
flew up here from
basically,
South Florida
clean
to clean our apartment
in one day.
And she was like, "Listen, I need this, and this. Go get it. Bring it back here. Stay out there."
While I
keep
was
your
at
mouth
work,
shut."
I came home to a clean apartment.
Yes. So we
That's
we
crazy.
tag teamed that a little bit, but it was more of like 83% her, 27% me.
That's generous.
That's wrong math. 17%. Excuse me. I corrected myself. But yeah, I don't think we've had any bangers. I mean, we've probably had close. We've gotten close, but I do this thing where like I'll go in the other room, and Selena doesn't really like when I go in the other room. How do you feel about me going in the other room? Does that upset you still, or sometimes I need to decompress?
Yeah, you have an avoidance response. I like to
I get that from my dad.
get it all out in the open, talk about it, move on with my life. So that's been
Yeah,
a
so
learning
Selena
curve.
has this thing like, say like we fought about like, this is just an exaggeration. I'm not saying that. If we were getting a divorce, Selena would fall asleep at 8:30 and sleep for 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You have this amazing ability to just turn off life for 8 hours. I stew and I walk around and I'm pacing and I do all the stuff, the dramatic. All the dramatic stuff is by me. I'm the dramatic one in our relationship. I would say, so I'm very jealous that you're able to put shit to bed like that and then literally put yourself to bed at the same time.
I adore you, but nobody is going to get in the way of my sleep or my peace. If I had plans to go do something and we got into a fight, I would still go do that thing and have the time of my life. This has been a learned attribute. It's not easy.
I get that. I understand that.
I have learned this.
Who's pettier, you or me?
Not even a tiny bit close to you.
Yeah, I'm petty as fuck.
That's not a word I would use to describe me.
Petty? No, not
Plenty
really.
of other negative ones you could throw in there, but that's not one I would put on my list.
I don't know what I would put on that list, honestly, of like negative things. You're bad at apologizing.
Oh,
That's one.
don't
That's one.
say that on camera.
No, it's okay. You can apologize. Here's the next one. How did y'all know each other was the one? Selena said that we were getting married within the first month of us dating.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, I do. I was like, nah, no way, but I felt the same way. How did I know you were the one? I feel like that's such like a vague question.
I wish I had a profound answer, but my understanding of it is so typical. Like, when you know type of thing. I really feel that way.
Okay. I'm going to give an answer.
Yeah, that was a non-answer of
Yeah,
me.
that was a non-answer. I'll take care of you guys. Don't worry about it. The big thing was, it wasn't solely just because of you. A lot of it also had to do with your family as well. So when I got to see you around your family and your nieces and nephews or whatever, blah, 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 cousins, whatever, whole thing, when you're an outsider looking in at something like that, it's like, ooh, like, I kind of want to be a part of that. And I get to be with her at the same time, like, sign me up. Like, this is it. You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of people just look at the person that they're marrying, which I think is a huge mistake. Don't just look at the person that you're marrying. You have to look at the all-encompassing picture of something and ask yourself, can I deal with that? Or do
Yeah.
I want to deal with that for, like, the rest of my life? You know what I mean? So when I saw, like, your family dynamic and stuff, it was, like, almost like a automatic yes. I was like, all right, she's beautiful. She's cool. We like the same music. Her family's good. Checks off this. She has a profession. I'm good. Easier for me to do. I'm a hard sell.
Same taste in music was top 3.
See, this is what you don't understand. Same taste in movies and like television shows is a long way. Is a long
So
way.
important.
It's huge. Because if you really think about it, some of our first conversations were about music, realistically. So if it wasn't for music and having the same taste, maybe we're not together. But also, if I lived in Kentucky, you said you wouldn't have married me, though.
Yeah.
So everything had to be right.
I've experienced not having those things with somebody. So the scary thing is once you get out of that, you have to make sure you don't fall in love with somebody just because they like the same music as you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Marry off geography, guys. Geography works.
Yeah.
Carly wants to know, if you haven't gotten married in Spain, which country would y'all have picked? Italy, probably, right?
If it wasn't Italy, it would be the States.
I think Italy's the best country in the world. I'm just going to say it. Just going to say it.
Most beautiful, I would say.
I think so. You know, I don't know anything about politics over there.
I could tell you a thing or two.
So what's up?
I could tell you a thing or two.
Ooh,
It
hey.
might change your mind.
Yeah. World War One. Here we go. Sorry about that one, guys. Probably Italy. I think we would have tried to stay out of the States as much as possible, but if we were to get married in the States, it would have to be New York City. Like, I couldn't look down and see, like, Florida on my marriage license. I know you're from Florida, I'm sorry. But how cool is it to see New York City, New York on your marriage license? Come on.
Yeah, it is cool.
All right. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to start beef. I'm just saying it's cooler.
I feel like this is getting a little, like, tense.
On yours? I'm
Yeah,
chilling.
I need to.
Yeah, decompress.
You're allowed to say that.
Yeah. That's like the question I asked, like, if you, your Wikipedia page, would you care about where you died?
Yeah, if it said Hastings, New York, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, or Plantation, Florida. Well, your birth certificate says.
You talked about that the last time I was on here.
Plantation, Florida, guys. That's where she was born. Here we go. If you can get rid of one of each other's material possessions, what would it be?
Your stupid curved screen over here.
Whoa! My curved
just
screen
kidding.
is cool.
I'm just kidding.
You think it's stupid? It is stupid a little bit, right? It's a little obnoxious.
No.
I think we just need to move it to a different part of the apartment. If we moved it to a different part and it wasn't right there, I think we'd be way better off.
Yeah. It's
I'll move it
intense.
later. How about we feng shui it tonight? How's that?
Okay, there's nowhere for it to go.
Oh my god! I could put it on the wall.
What would be? I know what mine would be if yours. The snooze feature on my phone.
Yeah, it's either you get rid of the snooze or I'm going to get rid of you at some point because that's crazy. This girl snoozes 9 times every day. I'm sorry. I love you, babe. This thing it ruins
Not 9.
my day. It ruins my day. I really hope that somebody out there can really understand the pain that I go through. I am a terrible sleeper. When I finally get to sleep, it's like cherubs line up and play little trumpets for me to fall asleep, and it's like the most beautiful thing. 1 second. It's the most beautiful moment of our lives. Give me a minute. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm sleeping. I'm in this dream, beautiful land, and all I hear is.
That sounds kind of nice.
And then I'm like, all right, that one's okay. I could deal with that one. And then here comes Alexa.
Oh, I have 2 devices to wake me up now, just in case.
Yeah, she has a big ass Alexa speaker because we have surround sound in our bedroom, and now she has to get up. Now she has to verbally talk to it. So now not only did she wake me up with the fucking thing going off, and now she has to go, Alexa, stop. That's what she has to do. She has to yell at the Alexa now for me to even get through.
That ensures
sleeping.
that I get up. Now I'm up.
No.
I
Now
invite
we can't lie to the audience.
I invite anybody listening to imagine a life where you, not one single night of the week, have to set an alarm. That's your life.
That's not true.
So to a degree, I don't really want to hear about my snoozing because you don't have to be up. If it's a little bit annoying, you just go back to sleep.
But what's so hard about waking up when the alarm goes off the first time?
You wouldn't know anything about it, is my
Why?
point.
Is it so hard?
Yeah, it is. Why don't you try it?
Why don't you try it? Why is it so hard? Tell me why it's so hard.
You can't play that.
Yeah, you can. Tell me why it's so hard. Go.
It just feels so good to be asleep.
Yeah.
So
Tell me about the hardships of waking up.
it's a little treat when your alarm goes off and you think, okay, it's almost time for me to be up. But technically speaking, I can go back to sleep, get a little treat, 5 more minutes. And in 5 minutes, I'll wake up more refreshed, more ready for the day than I was at this moment.
Is it hard to wake up in the morning?
Yeah, it's hard to wake up in the morning. What do you know about it? How are you allowed to play this song?
So you can play it for a certain amount before you get copyright stricken. Listen, the snoozing has to stop. Yeah, so material possession would be your alarm clock or your phone. I wish I could
Next
throw
question.
it in the Hudson River. God, I hate that thing so much.
Sylvie.
Question. This is from Kenzie. Kenzie wants to know, what's the biggest adjustment for your marriage so far? If I had to say the biggest adjustment is just knowing that I'm going to be with somebody forever. But like,
Great.
no, but you know what I mean? In a sense of like, there are some habits I have to get rid of. You know, like for real this time. Because honestly, like before you're married, you could just get up and get out of here if you wanted to. Who, he farted in your face? He farted a tasty one? Crunchy?
Stop.
He farted right in your mouth, didn't he?
Honestly, for me, it'll be the name change. Besides that, I don't feel like anything really drastically has changed.
No, but what's the biggest adjustment you think you had to make?
It hasn't changed much for me.
I just feel like I got... the worst part is I got to be more serious about life. I'm just not a serious person. You know? Like, I got to be serious about my health and all these other things. You know what I mean? If somebody else is depending on you, it adds stress because you have to, you know, be a human
Well,
being.
I don't feel I'm depending on you, but I do feel like...
Yeah, but you don't want me to die, do you? Please wait till I have some money. What's next? I have a couple more questions. Question. Say you've been married 30 years and your partner admits to have cheated in your year one of the relationship or less. This is a hypothetical, obviously. Or less, would you divorce them?
You've been together for 30 years?
You've been together for 30 years, and then they say, listen, the first year that we were married, I cheated.
Yeah.
Would you divorce me? Or would it be so long ago you'd forgive them?
Yeah, I got to go.
Yeah? Damn. And then he asks this sad-ass question and goes, love the show. You want to know something? Here's what I would do.
Trust is gone. My whole life's been a lie.
See,
Can't get over it.
I would say that I would get over it, but I'd never get over it.
You'd try.
And I'd remind you of it every night.
I bet you would.
Yeah, and I would just make your life live miserable. And I'd just be like, it was this one time, and I would say, yeah, I'm over it, but I would bring it up like at every event that I could. But yeah, probably got to bang it. It's all right. He's giving himself a bath. Question for the podcast. How did you know she was the one? We answered that one. I just looked at her butt. And I was like, I need to talk to that. We'll fix that in post. We'll cut that. Should we cut that? Cut that. What's up with that show? Is that show off the air now? What's going on with the Sunny podcast?
I have a bad feeling about it.
I have a bad feeling about it too. Why'd they just stop doing it? I guess they realize they don't need to do it. They have so much money. All right, here's the next one. Question for Selena. This is from Abdullah. My wife says I'm too aware of my surroundings and I complain just a little too much about being inconvenienced. Danny has been my sanity check for years because his complaints are pretty much always valid. And I like this guy. And I go through similar situations and other people being inconsiderate. Do you get tired of Danny's rants? Stay awesome, guys. Looking forward to seeing you in San Jose in November. Oh, thanks, man. I can't wait to see you, too. Yeah. Thank you, Abdullah. Appreciate that. Do you get tired of my rants?
I'm afraid I might be the ranter of the relationship.
Yeah, I think it's neck and neck, though. I don't think you're so far out ahead. I think that your rants have more, as I rant, your rant has more foundation. My rants are kind of pixie dust, made up things. Sometimes.
Don't you feel every time I leave the house, I come back and say, like, you're never going to guess what happened to me?
Yes.
This guy said this and that to me.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Didn't you say something? You had an exchange with the ear tap. You had a thing like this, and you like went like this to somebody. You did this thing with your head.
That was just something I felt so awful about. I was walking the dogs, and you know you can set your features on your AirPad. What are these?
AirPods.
AirPods.
Yeah, it's okay. I love you.
Love you too. And so my pause is a double tap on my right headphone. Mm-hmm. And I was walking the dogs, and some guy was fishing out here, and he asked me a question. And I didn't hear him the first time, so he said it again. And I was making eye contact with him, and I went like this. So he said, sorry, I'll leave you alone, basically. He was just being really nice. And I was like, oh, no. But it was like too hard to explain, though. I was like, oh, no, I was just pausing my music. What did you say? And he was like, what? I was like, what did you say?
Was it? But he ended up asking
he
you
was
just
like,
if the dogs
no,
were playing, right?
I was just asking if one was a boy and one was a girl. I was like, no. And he was like, all right.
Do you feel as a woman?
Awful.
Do you feel as a woman that having conversations with men outside is just like, what are we doing?
No, I think he was just genuinely being a nice person. He was just chilling. You know, he's probably bored. He was fishing. He was just talking.
Right. Like, how high is your meter for, like, this person's talking to me for this or this person's talking to me for that? Like your gauge of, like, why is this person talking to me?
I think I'm pretty lenient on the innocent, assuming innocence first.
The return to innocence. Yeah, didn't you used to, like, give your phone number to, like, everybody? Not that way.
What on earth are you talking about?
No, I think we talked about it at one point because you were like, oh, it takes a lot of, like, riz and pizzazz to come up and just be like, hey.
I said I always questioned, like, my friends. I don't want to.
Reluctancy to give their phone number out?
No, I don't want this, like, stamped on me to have been something I said. But when...
We'll fix it.
When people are just rude for no reason. If somebody has come up to me politely and approaches me in a nice way, I was just nice about turning them down and give everybody my number.
I hear you.
I never understood being, like, annoyed or mean. I don't know.
Okay.
Because it does take a lot.
It does. Newlywed question. This will be the last question we take. This is from Angel Torres. Says, newlywed question. What's a weird habit Danny or Selena has that took a second to get used to?
You have so many.
I have so many. I don't think it's so many. Very minimal. You look so pretty today.
Aw.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You. Oh, I have like 3 for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
I have 3 for you. You do this thing where if you put dishes in the dishwasher, you don't empty the dishwasher. What? That drives me lunatic. Like if you put stuff in the dishwasher and you run the dishwasher, you won't put them away.
I feel like
fire off.
That was brave of you to bring up.
No, fire off.
Sometimes, I work all day. I work really hard. Sometimes I might run the dishwasher before I go to work, and I'm stunned to find that when I get home, they're still in there. So
I didn't even know you ran it.
Maybe you should check.
Oh, maybe next time. I did pee in your rice thing yesterday. Selena got mad, okay, that her rice cup or whatever was in the bathroom and I peed in it. So what? She's like, I cook rice in this, and I said, I'm sorry, I peed in it to check my ketone levels, okay, because I'm my diet has changed because of my diabetes, and she got mad at me because I peed in her rice cup.
The nerve.
twice tops. I peed in it.
You peed in it more than once?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then where'd you put it?
I washed it with soap.
And put it where?
I put it on top of our mirror.
Why? I can't even think of why a person would do all of the things you had to do to pee in my dry measuring cup.
I had to check my ketone levels.
That if you cooked rice would know rice is very finicky. It's a very exact measurement. So I can only use this cup to get the perfect rice. There's no chance that it was in the bathroom.
Oh, it's just pee, baby.
And I know you're fibbing about that.
I'm not fibbing about it.
It
I found
was
it in the
not
bathroom.
in the bathroom.
It was in the bathroom.
Doesn't make any sense.
All right. So what was the thing you don't like the most about me? Peeing
Probably the fact that you pee in my measuring cups.
peeing in your cups. No, I would say your biggest thing that you hate about me is I don't replace the toilet paper.
Listen to the words you're saying. The biggest thing I hate about you.
Oh, well, you know, it's all for clips.
Yeah, you don't change the toilet paper.
You don't like that I change the toilet paper.
That you don't change the toilet
That I
paper.
don't change the toilet paper.
Mhm.
Do you like that I get toilet paper though?
Wait, what are my things? Oh, the dishwasher.
The dishwasher, the snooze. Obviously, like I wish I could fucking kill that every piece of technology in this house when that happens. And then sometimes when you skip walking the dogs in the morning. I'd say those are the three things.
Oh my god.
And guess what? We had a late time walking Tony today. And guess what happened? He pooped in the house because he got diarrhea. Tony, look at him. He's so cute. Oh, Tony.
Bye, Tony.
Hi, Toto. He's the best. Yeah, I would say that's it. You probably don't like that I sing so much. Hi, Toto. Hi, Toto. Do you like my singing?
I do like your singing.
You just don't like when I sing the same.
Oh no,
bar.
I don't like when I say something to you and you turn it into a song. When I'm trying to.
You don't like it when I sing it like this.
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's what you do. You don't like that. God, you're so pretty. If you could change one thing about me, what would you change?
I feel like you asked that in the last podcast and it
Yeah.
just turned into this
No, but that's
negative.
No, this is
weird
this is
thing.
the last question. None of this is negative. It's educational. We're two people in love. We're newlyweds, figuring life out as we go, baby.
Why don't you read the question about going through the phone?
Oh, what was the question that you asked? What was the question that you asked? What was the question?
I asked first if people ask questions on the story, if you could see who it was from.
Yeah. You can.
Then I asked the question.
Then you asked the question.
I don't know. I asked a couple titillating questions. You didn't ask any of them. But I'm not going to answer what I would change about you because I wouldn't change anything about you.
Oh my God, such a PC answer. I love it. So good. You would change that. I would change the toilet paper roll though. You would.
Yeah, easily.
You would. But you don't know who's going to change that for you? I'm going to change that for you.
Let's
All
see.
right. With our sponsor over at Toilet Changer. No, I'm just kidding. There's no sponsor. But yeah, all right. So listen, guys, that's the Newlywed Show. I think we've been going for like 2 hours. Selena, is there anything you want to plug or
No.
you have anything coming out or
Nope.
tell us about the album?
Not anytime soon.
That's it. At Selena Silver.
I'll preach the importance of pelvic health in like 3 months probably.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we got to talk.
I haven't
about
decided
that.
if I want to talk about it on your show.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. But we'll you know what, we'll leave it at that. We won't go into it. We'll leave it just like that and leave it open to the imagination
Okay.
of pelvicity,
Pelvic floor rehab.
pelvic floor rehab. Crazy. Yeah. So you could find her at Selena Silver. Hopefully it's at Selena LoPriore soon. But you could find me at Danny LoPriore all over the internet. Guys, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn the notifications on, download us on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to us. And also, I just want to thank everybody over on the Patreon. I will see you guys. We're doing a Zoom call tonight. Well, yeah, if you're listening now, it'll be Tuesday. So we're doing a Zoom call tonight. If you sign up for the Patreon, you're allowed to come and hang out with me via Zoom. It's actually a lot of fun. We talk about where we're from, what we do, what we like, you know, and I might just fart. Pretty those guys. Multiple people hit me up about buying my farts.
I'm sure.
Yeah, some dude offered me $900 to fart for him on a phone call. That was like 2 days ago.
You should do it.
Yeah, I'll probably do it. But yeah, so and if you want farts too, yeah, I guess come on and get them. But yeah, thank you guys so much for everything, and we will see you next week with all the boys back with another one. Hope you guys had a great holiday, and we will see you later. I am out of here. Play me off. That's it.